Hello my friends, Ukrainian forces get some sort of the success near to Bakhmut, so here Russia tried to get Chasiv Yar and Ivanovsk under their control, but today, let's go to the timeline, they were pushed away from this road because of the successful Ukrainian counterattack in the region. This is crucially important for Bakhmut because, as I said to you before, Chasiv Yar has the only supply road nowadays that is used by Ukrainian forces to supply Bakhmut, and this road we cannot use any longer because it's under the constant Russian shelling. And if we go to the north over here, before Russia was successful in taking this small part of the road under their control, so it was yesterday, and today they were forced to retreat few meters, but still our army does the best counteracting to Russian attacks even in this difficult situation. And yes, it is very difficult nowadays in Bakhmut. Ukrainian forces closed the town for civilians and volunteers. Some say that Ukraine is prepared to withdraw from the city, but I don't think like that. I think that we still have Chasiv Yar under our control. We're gonna stay in Bakhmut and also cause Russians severe losses. After we lose Chasiv Yar, if that happened, yes, it's better to get out from the city. Without the proper supply lines, it's basically impossible to hold the city for a long time. Yesterday, I published the information about this airplane. It was hit near to Vuhledar. It's the Russian tactical bomber Sukhoi 24, and Prigozhin, the leader of the Wagner, used to fly on that airplane, and he asked Zelensky for a fight with him in the skies, and this particular airplane was hit. Unfortunately, it landed safely but sustained dramatic damage. You can see the elevator is significantly damaged, also the part of the engine. This airplane has two of the engines and still can fly using just one. You can see the shrapnel hit the power plant, and you can see the vertical stabilizer and the rudder has significant damage. So for sure, this airplane in particular will not fly for a long time. It requires significant repairs for it to fly again, the engine change and the fairing change and many more system maintenance. And I would say that this Soviet airplane is quite reliable, and we also have those in Ukrainian Air Force. You can see here lots of the armored vehicles that were delivered to Germany by United States of America using this ferry, and unfortunately not all of those vehicles will go to Ukrainian army but also to reinforce the Western allies, but the major part I think will go to support Ukraine. There was the Ramstein meeting again, as we call it, the supporters of Ukraine, the allies of Ukraine, and they confirmed that they will send more armored vehicles, more artillery systems and ammunition shells. They also spoke about the fighter jets and tactical airplanes, or it's better to say the attack airplanes, and the only version possible from our allies is A-10. Yes, it would be awesome to have that airplane type in Ukrainian army, but for now, Lloyd Austin, the Minister of Defense of United States, said that so far it's early to say about the jet supplyment to Ukrainian army, unfortunately. Maybe the next meeting in March will resolve the problem, and the fact that our pilots went through the training on F-16s and will go on a training on the Eurofighters plays a great role and keeps me positive about the fighter jet topic. And Norway will send to Ukraine 8 of the Leopard 2 tanks and extra armored vehicles for support. Also, we have the huge support from Denmark. They sent to Ukraine all of the Caesar artillery systems that they had. Now they simply don't have those any longer. All of them went to Ukraine. It's been confirmed by the video that Pete Reed, who was the volunteer in Bakhmut, lost his life because Russia committed the war crime again. So they fired their shell to destroy this volunteer vehicle, and Pete was very close, and I just gonna show you the video. So this is the shell. It was like flying, and it was filmed from the nearby car, and it just hit and exploded. All of the people who stayed around the vehicle lost their lives. Wagner soldiers say that Pete was some sort of the fighter, but no, he was the volunteer. You can clearly see it on this video. So they supplied some of the goods here, and he's not wearing any kind of the camouflage out there. Germany sends more RST air defense systems to Ukraine, and we need those crucially. I think this one is the best out there if we speak about the middle range air defense systems. It's been reported by political resource that the United States is not ready to supply Ukraine with attack-and rockets because they need those themselves. I think that still Ukraine may have the long-range missiles, and it was already confirmed that United Kingdom will support Ukraine with the Storm Shadow rockets with a range up to 350 miles, and that's the crucial step to eliminate the supply line to Crimea. But for that rocket, you need airplanes. This huge fire happened last night in Moscow. Somehow quite a big building was absolutely demolished by the fire, and what's interesting about it, that this building was used as the research facility for the electronics for the Russian cruise missiles and other military equipment. So we don't see this a lot in the press, but this could be very interesting news. Oh yeah, around 5 days ago Prigozhin filmed this video in Sukhoi 24 that got the rocket yesterday. Alright, British intelligence said that the Russian army got the order for the massive attack, but it wasn't able to gather the huge amount of the forces in the region. That is why it's bogged down. Here we are speaking about the Liman direction, and Russia wants to get it under control once again. They got some sort of the success near to Crimea, but not significant. There is no big massive attack as they promised. Also, weather plays a great role here. This video is really sad to watch, and still I want to show it on my channel because here I speak mostly truth. Yes, I'm Ukrainian, but I want to open the eyes on the problems as well. So for example, here you can see the man and the military guys drag him to the military facility to force him to serve in Ukrainian army. And let's see what this guy is doing. He grabs this sign with his leg, and they just rip off his jacket and start to grab him, causing obviously some of the pain for him personally. And I think it should not be done in democratic country. And yes, it's not police, those are the guys who serve in the local military facility. They're not on the front lines, no, even though they're quite tough. They grab civilians to force them to serve. Well, according to the Ukrainian constitution, in the state of war, every Ukrainian should protect his or her country. Doesn't matter if Ukrainian male or female. The tricky thing that the war state was not fully announced by our president. However, the massive mobilization was announced, so according to the law, it's not really nice. But anyways, according to Ukrainian law, those military guys have no right to grab civilians like that. They're not the military police or something, and we don't have the military police in Odessa. That's why we have lots of the people around who were filming the situation. This lady, for example, there is some internet video from her perspective as well. So the guy was screaming. So what's the use of this guy in the army if he's not motivated to serve? So why do they just grab him? Strange. At the same time, I'm telling you about the problems with the Ukrainian army. Yes, we have those, especially with HR and those who select, basically those military guys who select the people to serve in Ukrainian army. They do not look at your previous experience, as happened with my mates who were pilots before, and they would be fantastic pilots for the military also, and they had the military experience before serving in the army, but nevertheless they put them into infantry because for this day, let's put everyone to the infantry. It's the bad stuff, and I think those guys are working in some way for our enemy. So the last year we were laughing about the self-proclaimed republics who did absolutely the same job, grabbing everyone around, all of the men, to serve and die for whatever. Here I see absolutely the same picture. Even in Russia I haven't seen those kind of videos, maybe because they have lots of the human resource compared to Ukraine. I think that this should be prosecuted and those tough guys may show their mighty power on the front lines. Why not? Actually, I know why they will not be sent to the front lines, because they're just relatives of someone, of some mayor, general. Yes, we still have corruption in Ukrainian army, and that drives me mad. And it's been confirmed that even deputies of the defense minister were involved in corruption. They're now under persecution. What should be done to motivate our guys to serve in the army is to increase the wage and also show the reforms and good attitude from the generals and commanders on the front lines. The future soldiers should be 100% sure that they will not be the cannon fodder as DPR or LPR. And just look at this guy. He wants to grab the phone out, not knowing that he was also recorded by the CCTV cam on the top. And it's really nice that we were provided with that video, and our society is totally mad about the actions of those tough guys. So finally, I hope that our defense minister Reznikov will be dismissed with Budanov. Budanov is much more competent, and I'm sure that he will provide new reforms to army, and I'm quite positive about that. But it seems like Reznikov doesn't want to go, and I'm sure that he knew that his deputies were involved in corruption. And again, I have the full right to criticize my government and officials because I'm the citizen of Ukraine. If I see that something is wrong out there, I speak about it, and believe me, my friends, there are lots of the videos like that, especially in Odessa region. Russia moves their airplanes closer to Ukrainian border to help with their massive attack that is planned very soon. As I said to you, they already should have started it, but something went wrong. So I got this information based on the satellite images, and for sure now Ukraine is ready for that. Right guys, just a short announcement. If you support me on Patreon or you're the sponsor of my channel, you may access my private Telegram group, and the private Telegram group is the great way to communicate with the channel supporters, and you may see no trolls out there. So you may also join by supporting this channel. All the links I put in the video description below. So Patreon and channel sponsorship. Yes, I need to make the unique features for the channel supporters. And as always, press the like to this video. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.